Today we were out in the field with a course, environmental restoration. The students and I have just gotten back from the field, and we're here in Whitehall, Maryland, northern Baltimore County. After looking over some maps to kind of give an overview of the geology and the vegetation, we walked along the NCR trail for about a half a mile or so. Along the way we'd stop and look at a few plants. We looked at the Norway maple and several introduced species like bush honeysuckle and Asian bittersweet. Eventually we get to a point at the river bank where we turn and bushwhack our way through shrubs and tall grasses down to the site where our study site from 2009. The object of the course is to look at basically case studies, 6 different case studies of sites that I've studied or we're familiar with, and we go out and look at the situation, why it was restored, or what they're doing to restore it, and looking at the geologic history, written history of it, and then particularly spending a lot of time identifying some key indicator plants that many of these students are not familiar with. We then did an abbreviated wetland delineation, going through the Army Corps of Engineers approach, where we identify the trees in a certain radius and the herbaceous plants. It is hoped that the students seeing a site like this firsthand can really see a sense of the history we're talking about here, because like I said, there's a buried wetland that we've now identified through fossil evidence and geologic evidence as 5,000-year-old wetland that was a sedge meadow here in the valley. And then eventually in the early colonial period with dams that flooded the area and buried these old ancient wetlands. And that becomes clearer to students when they can actually see it firsthand. So seeing everything in context is really important. Yeah, I would certainly encourage students to look at taking a field-based course like this. I've been a strong proponent for field-oriented courses. When we walk away from the course, students remember the field trips more than just about anything else in the course. And I think a lot of that is just getting out and seeing things so much firsthand. So I would definitely advise if students are interested in this field, in environmental restoration, and particularly even if they just want to learn some plants and some history of the area, that we should join the class.